In the land of Uz, there lived a man named Job, a person of immense wealth and unwavering faith. Job was a man of integrity and righteousness, deeply respected in his community. His life was a tapestry of blessings, with 7 sons and 3 daughters who filled his home with laughter and joy. His livestock numbered in the thousands, and his lands were fertile and vast. Job's heart was full, his days were bright, and he felt the warmth of God's favor in every aspect of his life. Job's mornings began with the sight of the sun rising over his fields, a symbol of his prosperous and blessed life. He was the epitome of success and fulfillment, embodying a life where hard work, faith, and piety brought tangible rewards. He offered sacrifices for his children regularly, ensuring that his household remained pure and under God's protection. Job's life was a beacon of happiness and gratitude, a testament to what it meant to live in alignment with divine will. But life seasons are ever-changing, and Job's fortunes took a drastic turn. In a series of swift and devastating events, Job's world was turned upside down. Messengers arrived, each bringing news more dire than the last. His oxen and donkeys were stolen, his servants slain. His sheep and camels met similar fates, and his servants were cut down with the sword. Worst of all, a mighty wind struck the house where his children were feasting, collapsing it and taking their lives. Job, once surrounded by the trappings of wealth and family, found himself sitting in ashes, stripped of everything he held dear. His health, too, was afflicted. Painful sores covered his body from head to toe. Job's friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to comfort him, but ended up accusing him of wrongdoing, suggesting his suffering was a punishment for sin. Amidst this profound suffering, Job's faith wavered, but it did not break. He questioned the justice of his plight, pouring out his anguish in heart-wrenching laments. His cries echoed the depths of human despair and the universal search for meaning amidst suffering. However, Job's story did not end in the depths of despair. In the midst of his anguish, a young man named Elihu spoke, offering a new perspective on suffering as divine discipline and instruction. But it was God's voice from the whirlwind that ultimately brought clarity. God spoke not to explain, but to remind Job of the vastness of creation and the limits of human understanding. Job, humbled and awed by this divine encounter, repented in dust and ashes. In this humility and renewed faith, Job found restoration. God turned his captivity when he prayed for his friends, forgiving them and seeking their good. Job's fortunes were restored doubly. He was blessed with 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, more beautiful than any in the land. Job lived a long and full life, seeing his children and their children to the 4th generation. Job's journey from prosperity to despair and back to blessedness is a powerful reminder of resilience and faith. His story is a testament to the idea that suffering, while deeply painful, is not the end. There is hope, even in the darkest of times, and a path to restoration. Job's unwavering faith and ultimate restoration serve as an inspiration, illustrating that no matter how deep the sorrow, there is potential for redemption and renewal. Listeners of Job's story are reminded that they too possess the strength to endure and the capacity to find hope even when all seems lost. Life's trials, while inevitable, can lead to profound growth and an even greater appreciation of life's blessings. In Job's narrative, we find a universal message of perseverance, faith, and the enduring hope that after the storm there can be peace and abundance. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and fellow travelers on this journey called life, today I want to talk to you about a subject that touches the very core of our existence: suffering and faith. Imagine for a moment the times in your life when everything seemed to be going perfectly. The sun was shining, opportunities were abundant, and the path ahead was clear and inviting. It is in these moments that life feels effortless, and we bask in the warmth of our accomplishments and blessings. But then, without warning, the storms of life begin to gather. Dark clouds of doubt, fear, and pain overshadow the brightness of our days. We are thrust into situations that test our very limits. Loss, betrayal, illness, and disappointment strike with unrelenting force, and we find ourselves questioning everything we once held dear. We all have been there, haven't we? We've all faced those moments where the weight of the world seems too much to bear, where each step forward feels like an uphill battle against an invisible, formidable force. It's in these times that suffering becomes our unwanted companion, and faith, often our only beacon of hope. Take heart, dear friends, for suffering is not the end of our story. It's merely a chapter in the grand narrative of our lives. You see, suffering has a way of refining us, of stripping away the superficial layers and revealing the strength and resilience that lies within. It's through the crucible of suffering that our character is forged and our faith is tested. And it is through faith that we find the courage to rise above our circumstances. Faith is not a passive acceptance of fate. It is an active, living force that propels us forward. It is the assurance that even when we cannot see the way ahead, there is a path waiting to be discovered. It is the belief that our pain has a purpose, and that purpose is growth, transformation, and ultimately, redemption. Think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who, despite facing constant threats and adversity, never wavered in his commitment to civil rights. His dream of a just and equal society continues to inspire generations long after his voice was silenced. Or reflect on the courageous journey of Malala Yousafzai, who, after being targeted and attacked for advocating for girls' education, rose from the depths of her suffering to become a global symbol of hope and resilience. Her story reminds us that even in the darkest moments, our voices can rise above oppression and inspire change across the world. Then, there are the survivors who have rebuilt their lives after devastating loss. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years of imprisonment under a brutal apartheid regime. Despite the unimaginable suffering, Mandela emerged not with bitterness, but with a vision of reconciliation and unity for his country. His journey from prisoner to president is a powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit and the transformative power of forgiveness and perseverance. Every one of us has faced challenges, obstacles, and moments of despair. Yet, it is through these very trials that we uncover our true strength and potential. In the face of adversity, let us remember that we are not alone. We stand on the shoulders of giants who have come before us, and we walk alongside countless others who share in our journey. Together, we are stronger. Together, we can overcome any challenge. Today, I urge you to embrace your suffering, not as a curse, but as a catalyst for change. Allow it to deepen your empathy, to strengthen your resolve, and to ignite the fire of faith within you. Remember that every trial you face is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become the person you are meant to be. Surround yourself with a community that uplifts and supports you, for we are never truly alone in our struggles. As you navigate the storms of life, keep your eyes fixed on the horizon. Know that the clouds will part and the sun will shine again. Hold fast to your faith, for it is the anchor that will keep you grounded when the waves threaten to overwhelm you. Know that the pain you feel today is not permanent. It is a moment in time, a challenge that will eventually give way to brighter days. Hold on to the hope that even in the midst of suffering, there is a purpose, a lesson, and a path forward. Have faith that your story is still being written, and that the chapters yet to come are filled with promise and possibility. In closing, let us remember that suffering is not the end. It is a passageway to a deeper, more meaningful existence. Through faith, we can transcend our pain and discover a life rich with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. You have the strength within you to face any challenge, to overcome any obstacle, and to emerge victorious. Believe in yourself, trust in the journey, and know that brighter days are ahead. Thank you, and may your faith guide you through every storm, bringing you to the calm and peaceful shores of a life well lived. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and let us know in the comments how you overcame a hard time in your life.